Part 300. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2991. Bai Piao yelled at the side with a loud voice, and while roaring, the excitement on his face gathered in all directions, and at this moment, the whole person was in a trance. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is too real. Glancing at the past, I feel inexplicably beautiful. Speaking of doing other things, Bai Piao may not be very good at it, but in this respect, he is definitely a top 2. Just don't be too strong. At the beginning, there was really no attraction there, but after hearing Bai Piao's howl, everyone's eyes flocked to them in an instant. At this moment, their eyes widened, and they seemed a little confused. Looking at it, it doesn't look like that. Don College versus Black and White College, cheap gamble? It's all 1 for 2. What a mess, isn't this frankly a blood loss? I'm afraid this guy is a fool. Hee. It really looks like that. Good guy, that's about it. Looking at the past, it suddenly became real. Speaking of which, this handicap can be played. Anyone knows that Geg, a first-year student of the Daybreak Academy who is now on stage, will win. Does it need to be said? Let's go up and bet. It's rare to meet such a fool once in 1,000 years, tisk, tisk tisk, take off. Don't get too excited, do you really think everyone is a fool? Such an obvious loophole, so he can't see it? I think there is something tricky in it. Hee. When the time comes, gather your star core, and then run away. Who are you going to? This kind of thing happens a lot in casinos, so be careful. You don't have to be afraid of this. You see, you look quickly, my boy, that is the signboard played by Guangming Academy. This is the gamble offered by Guangming Academy. Opportunity. The opportunity is right in front of us. Even if this person ran away, but the signboard of Guangming Academy is there, is there any need to be afraid? Afraid? There is no fear. Is it not good to go up and beat it? Even if something goes wrong in the end, it will be supported by Guangming Academy, so there is no need to be afraid. Hold on to everything. Wave after wave of yelling followed, as if what was being said was really true. While these people were still negotiating, some smarter people had already rushed over. They feel that they can take advantage of it, and feel that they cannot miss this golden opportunity. At this moment, their eyes widened, their bodies trembled rapidly, all thoughts gathered in their hearts, and the whole person had already become ecstatic. This time the thoughts gathered here, and the mentality also completely exploded. Give me 3 high-grade star cores. I bet on a high-grade star core. I cast 10 million low-grade star cores. 50 million low-grade star cores. 50,000 middle-grade star cores. The noise is endless, and the things on the scene are very real. Glancing at the past, I feel deeply. At this moment, Bai Piao can be regarded as receiving the star core and receiving soft hands. Such a good opportunity, for him, how could he let it go so easily? At this moment, it is natural to try my best to praise it. He decided that Fang Fan must have seen through something, so he asked him to make this cheap bet. Of course, it's not that I haven't made any murmurs in my heart. After all, there are many star cores involved. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2992. Although most of them are below 3 or 5 top-grade star cores, you must know that this is a top-grade star core. To some extent, one high-grade star core is equivalent to 100 million low-grade star cores. Where is the exchange rate? If the number of people reaches the standard, the quantitative change will directly lead to a qualitative change. In this way, The feeling is naturally very deep. This time, his eyes widened, and the sound of breathing couldn't help but become extremely urgent. The whole person also gradually became smug. This is almost tens of thousands of high-grade star cores. If it's really cold, tens of thousands of high-grade star cores will be lost in this encounter. Fang fanboy, I trust you all this time, don't you f***ing trick me. Whirring. Why? It's really too difficult for my envoy to earn a little star core. This is so, even more difficult. In any case, staying alive is inevitable. This is about to start. Bai Piao's gaze scanned the front, thinking to himself, the sparkle in his eyes couldn't help but increased, the thoughts gathered here, and his body trembled. On the ring, Geg, a first-year student of the 4-star peak sanctuary realm of the Dawn Academy, and Pan Ting, a first-year student of the 4-star high-level sanctuary realm of the Black and White Academy, confronted each other. People with discerning eyes casually look at it, but their mentality directly collapses. This glance glanced over, followed by a hammer. The brilliance in the eyes gathered in all directions, and the sound of breathing inexplicably became extremely real. The Daybreak Academy and the Black and White Academy are not on the same level. Relatively speaking, even the students of the Daybreak Academy at the same level of cultivation are stronger than the students of the Black and White Academy. What's more, the students of Daybreak Academy are higher than the students of Black and White Academy. This is not crushing, what is it? The battle begins. After the referee pronounced the verdict, the whole scene suddenly vibrated. At this moment, the eyes of the people could not help but increase, their bodies trembled all over, and their breathing became extremely rapid. The more I look at it, the more interesting it becomes. Which is even more interesting. Kill. Geg, a first-year student of the 4-star peak sanctuary realm of the Daybreak Academy, snorted coldly, and killed him alone. At this moment, his whole body was surging with energy and blood. At this moment, Pan Ting, a student from the Black and White Academy who was directly oppressed, could not resist. At least at this moment, I feel a wave of crushing in the whole area. After the comprehensive crushing is in place, there is no need to say more about the rest. Everything, pure to the extreme. Clang. The sound of the battle sounded, and Pan Ting, a student from the Black and White Academy, retreated directly. At this moment, he fell directly on the ring, his body trembled, and his mouth was numb. It was just one blow, and at this moment his face was extremely red, and there was a trace of blood flashing at the corner of his mouth. Although he only showed a trick, the verdict has already been decided at this moment. A lot of things are invisible and beautiful. This scene, for many people, is expected. Dawn Academy is second only to the 3 universities, so where is its strength? Is there any suspense? Isn't that just kidding? Of course, there is more attention at this time. Because there are many people who have made large bets. The previously recognized behavior of picking up money is obviously almost certain to be true. Just now they all bet on Daybreak Academy to win. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2993. Hey, that Guangming Academy's game is really stupid. My god, I really threw up. I can't understand more and more. Tut, tisk, interesting, really interesting. I regret that I should have saved my hand back then. I should have lost my entire fortune and invested in it. If that's the case, I'd be well off by now. Heh, he, you can't say that. If this F***ck is too high profile, wouldn't it just go cold? Anyway, it's still right to keep a hand. Crap. I only bet on 3 top-grade star cores. I always feel that the gamble offered by that Guangming Academy is not normal, so I didn't dare to be too arrogant. Damn it, you guys are pretty good. I beat the Black and White College to win. I thought there was some kind of conspiracy in the Guangming Academy's gamble market. So I chose the other way around. It's done. What the hell is this? I don't understand, I really don't understand. Pit up, spit up, just spit out. Where there is joy, there will naturally be complaints. Some people complain that they voted less, and some people complain that they are too smart. Of course, there are also many people who feel extremely lucky, and feel that they are fortunate to have grasped such a good opportunity. There are many things, anyway, they all have small thoughts in this regard, which are very real and clear. The most uncomfortable thing at this moment is actually Bai Biao. Now he can't care about maintaining the so-called gambling table anymore. He directly rushed to Fang Fan, his lips pursed, his breath was short of breath. Boy Fang Fan. You tricked me a lot. What's going on here? You asked me to open the evaluation gamble, now everyone is betting on the Daybreak Academy to win, and less than 1% of the people are betting on the Black and White Academy. This momentum, it is obvious that the Dawn Academy is going to take off. Grass, I am CAO. You are useless. Wave after wave of yelling followed, and the gesture of gnashing teeth was displayed. At this moment, the excitement on everyone's faces was beyond words, and their mentality had completely collapsed. Needless to say about the rest, it counts as much as you can survive this wave. If you can't hold on, that's really useless. The cool moonlight is being fully practiced to the end. After all, isn't that the case? So true. Fang Fan boy, you are so silent. Why? I did the math just now, this time we will lose more than 20,000 high-grade star cores. Don't you have many star cores on your body? This time I will go bankrupt. Fortunately, there is not much time in the end, so only some people came to place bets. At the time, I was still secretly feeling sorry for him, but now, it seems that wit is so humming witty. Luck, this is real luck. Fortunately, not everyone came over to bet, otherwise this time it would be really cold. At the moment, this situation is acceptable. In any case, all of this is still within the controllable range. Worrying. This is already very good. Bai Biao licked his lips, and while talking, he licked his lips subconsciously, and his eyes moved. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2994. It's so hard. He saved some star cores in vain, is it so easy? That's all hard-earned money. Now, so defeated now. Needless to say the rest, in this heart, it seems very aggrieved. There are some words that I can't say anymore. Gritting his teeth at this moment, he couldn't help but want to suppress the messy emotions in his heart. What the hell, if you can't hold it down, it's really completely cold. More than 20,000 high-grade star cores, converted into low-grade star cores, is more than 2 trillion. Thinking of this crazy number, cold sweat broke out on Bai Biao's forehead. Fang Fan boy, I don't have any definite information next time, but, don't lie to me. This time I still have a little wealth, and I can still plug this hole, but it will be cold next time. If you don't have any absolute certainty next time, don't do this. Worrying. I'm so difficult. I've worked so hard to save for so long, and it's all in vain. Fang Fan boy, you didn't save the star core, you don't understand. Why? Now you simply can't understand the sadness in my heart. That feeling is like wanting to pierce my heart completely. Bai Biao yelled, and while talking, the gesture of gnashing his teeth was vividly displayed. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is very real. This appearance of crying for father and mother is really a bit tingling. This guy Bai Biao never wanted to do business that lost money. For him, the anxiety deep in his heart made him feel extraordinarily desperate. Stop calling. Stop howling. Calm down. It's not the end yet, so what? I don't even have this kind of mentality, and I still want to earn star cores? Do I still want to open a gamble? Fang Fan curled his lips, then glared at Bai Biao angrily. This guy is not stable at all. What's the matter, as for being so flustered? Do you not know how to stay calm mentally? I'm in a bad mood. More than 20,000 high-grade star cores. Can you have a good mentality? For it. It's not right. Fang Fan boy, there is something in your words. No, this is absolutely not right. You kid is definitely the biggest slicker in the world. But you kid is still walking so quietly in the court. Could it be that there is a turning point? Boy Fang Fan, do you think Pan Ting, a student from the Black and White Academy, can win? But his cultivation base was originally low, and now he is defeated with one move. How could you win? Impossible. Fang Fan boy, you must be fooling me. Do you really think I'm such a fool? Bai Biao was stunned for a moment, then subconsciously widened his eyes. His mouth was naturally unforgiving, but the sound of breathing in was very real. In fact, to put it bluntly, I still look forward to this situation in my heart. It's just that she couldn't open her mouth on the bright side, and her eyes seemed a little erratic. Don't fool me, just watch it carefully. Anyway, it won't take long for a battle. Wait a little longer. Fang Fan stretched, then smiled indifferently. Without that diamond, I won't do that porcelain work either. If you really don't have any confidence at all, why are you here? Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2995. Hold on. There is still hope. Right. I want to hold on. Fang Fan kid, you are the boss of this gambling table, basically you are the one who opened it. If it's really a loss, can you agree? Right. Why didn't I think of this joint? But as long as it involves your kid's interests, then it's absolutely fine. You kid is as cunning as a fox, can you suffer? I believe anyone will suffer, but you, I don't believe it. The ghost knows how many things are hidden in your heart. That's the situation. Then I'll panic with a hammer. The Black and White Academy will win. Come on, Pan Ting. Bai Biao's eyes lit up, and he couldn't hold back howling a few times. His body trembled unnaturally at this moment. Needless to say the rest, this feeling can still be understood. Excited, yet urgent. At this moment, because of Bai Biao's roar, many people's eyes were focused on him, and naturally they all looked like idiots at this moment. What is the situation? What else could be unexpected? Is it possible? On the ring, Pan Ting, a student of the Black and White Academy, spit out several mouthfuls of blood at this moment, and there were more wounds all over his body. According to this situation, it won't be long before it gets cold. Blood Demon Transformation. Roar. A roar followed, and immediately Pan Ting, a student of the Black and White Academy, was bathed in blood. Immediately afterwards, his hands and legs were dismembered automatically, and then turned into a ball of blood and gathered directly in front of his eyes. Immediately afterwards, before Geg, a student of the Daybreak Academy, hadn't reacted, the blood mist came directly in front of his eyes, and then, boom! There was a loud explosion, and then the bloody mist directly attached to Geg, a student of the Daybreak Academy, followed by a huge gap in his chest. After the spattered blood dripped on Geg, a student of the Daybreak Academy, it immediately corroded quickly. Ah! Ah! I'm in so much pain. It's so painful. Don't. Go away. Go away, all. Don't pester me. Get out. Get out. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Heart-piercing roars followed, and Geg, a student of the Daybreak Academy, seemed to collapse suddenly, and immediately put down the weapon in his hand, and then frantically stretched out his hands to scratch himself. At this moment, the expression of pain on his face grew more and more, and the gesture of gnashing his teeth was revealed, and the whole person was completely insane. This wave can't hold on, and it can't be stabilized. Collapsed, the mentality completely collapsed. All kinds of words have gathered here, and there is nothing to say. Under the astonished gazes of everyone, Geg, a student of the Xiao Academy who was full of pride before, was already out of breath. The audience was shocked. From the beginning to the end, the change is a bit too fast. It's unacceptably fast. At this moment, each of them opened their eyes wide, and their bodies trembled rapidly. The color of panic in the eyes is also gathering in an all-round way. At this moment, what else can I say? The tide of battle has turned. Black and White Academy turned defeat into victory. What kind of trick did that Black and White Academy student Pan Ting pull? How could he suddenly become so powerful? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2996. There is nothing interesting about the dead, it is the living who look interesting. At this moment, Pan Ting, a student of the Black and White Academy who was alive and had won a complete victory, naturally became the target of public criticism. But this guy's condition is really not that good. Simply put, it is basically useless. Both hands and legs have turned into bloody mist just now. It was because of the full-scale explosion of the bloody mist that he turned defeat into victory. Inconceivable battle situation, the change before and after is only 10 seconds. What happened here? Why can't I understand at all? It's so scary. What's next? What should I do next? If this continues, won't it just be cold? What kind of tricks did this Black and White Academy student use? That's the Blood Demon transformation. Blood Demon transformation. What the hell? Never heard of it? This is a taboo secret technique that is extremely rare in the dark camp. Usually, under normal circumstances, no one is willing to use it, because after using it once, this person will undoubtedly die within 7 days. This is basically a strategy of killing 1,000 enemies and destroying 10,000 yourself. The essence of the Blood Demon transformation is actually to drain the blood from the body, use the limbs as the medium, gather a large amount of surging energy, and then launch the final explosive blow. The key to this blood is actually my own blood. So, you should know. If my heart is taken away, what else can I say? That's basically, you must die. Really, that's hopeless. Extremely terrifying. If you are a little careless, you will be completely cool. The ghost knows what it will turn into. Damn, isn't this Black and White Academy too vicious? In order to win, you use this kind of method? Isn't this letting the students under you commit suicide? Crazy, I think it's really crazy. The Black and White Academy is so crazy this time. Is it possible that they really want to get a good name in this exchange competition, and then snatch more sacred land resources? Hee. I think there is indeed a little meaning in this regard now. If this is the case, it will be considered useless. What will it turn into at that time, the ghost knows. Hey, for the resources of the sacred land, it is considered to be at all costs. He, this is, you can't afford it. The surrounding discussions couldn't help but increase, and at this moment, they basically all had a particularly shocking attitude. Their respective eyes gathered here, it was hard to let go. Too crazy. Crazy to the extreme, it will make people feel terrible. 1. Really 1. CAO. Doesn't that mean that our gambling table has come back to life? We earned 20,000 high-grade star cores in blood. Bai Piao blinked, and felt a little unbelievable at first, but gradually, the sound of exhaling became more real, and her body trembled violently. It's taking off. At this moment, Bai Piao's eyes were fixed on Fang Fan. At first, there were only shock, surprise, and admiration in his eyes. But gradually, that gaze completely reversed. Then this guy made a gesture and wanted to pounce. Fang Fan boy, you can do whatever you say from now on. This time I was wrong. Come here. Bai Piao rushed over excitedly, and was kicked out by Fang Fan. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2997. This guy doesn't seem to be passing by. Whenever something happens, just follow and yell. The point is, for this kind of thing, can yelling work? Piss off. Hold your gamble well. Go back and prepare all the proceeds that should be handed over. Fang Fan nodded silently, then said with a smile on his face. This is a great opportunity. If you can control the current gambling opportunity and make a few moves, you will be able to quickly accumulate a wave of wealth by then. If it really comes to that time. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, thinking to himself at this moment, the gleam in his eyes couldn't help but also increased. With enough star cores, the major legions under his command can continue to be promoted. Otherwise it's all in vain. Now the top 10 legions under my command have all been promoted to the 7-star peak sanctuary realm. It's easy to promote another legion to the 8-star peak sanctuary, and it's easy to start with 1,000,000 top grade star cores. If all the top 10 legions are going to be promoted, that's an astronomical figure. However, you can't just give up just because there is some pressure in these areas. Snort. This time, no matter what, we must withstand these pressures. No matter what, we must do it to the end. Fang Fan clenched his fists, thinking to himself, the sparkle in his eyes also increased. In extreme times, it is also necessary to choose some unconventional methods to raise star cores. Now this exchange match provides such an excellent opportunity. Wouldn't it be a waste of such an opportunity if we didn't make good use of it? At this moment, Bai Piao on the other side heard that 90% of the profit would be handed over, and immediately began to sigh. Why? It's too difficult for me. 90% profit. That's 90%. I was happy with the hammer just now. Really are. I don't even know what to be happy about. Even if you earn 20,000 high-grade star cores with your blood, so what? 10%, that's only 2,000. Compared to the overall situation, it's useless. Too difficult. How can you look like this? Boy Fang Fan, I feel that this percentage can be changed. Even if it's 10% higher. Whenever Bai Piao catches a chance, he loses his grip in an instant. This guy is a complete climber. Give it some sunshine and it will be brilliant. Looking at the past at a glance, it really looks like this. It just seemed so real. Fang Fan curled his lips subconsciously, feeling quite speechless at the moment. Brother Bai Piao, are you still not satisfied with earning 2,000 high-grade star cores just by making a move? You are getting more and more beautiful now. One more local tyrant. Why? How many masters of the Saint Venerable realm possess no more than 100 high-grade star cores? The gap between people, this is too big. Zhuoqiu Yao, who was at the side, really couldn't stand it anymore, and said with emotion at the moment helplessly. How do you say something? Comparing people to people makes people pissed off, that's really what happened. Listen. Brother Zhuoqiu speaks too rationally. Brother Zhuoqiu said before that he only needs to take half of the profit. Why? If Brother Bai Biao is really in trouble, he can entrust such a heavy responsibility to Brother Zhuoqiu. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2998. Fang Fan shrugged, then said calmly. In fact, 10% of the 20,000 top-grade star cores had to be handed over to Guangming Academy. After all, they borrowed their signboard, and this was also discussed with the Deputy Palace Master Shui Wanren at the beginning. Seeing that the matter of increasing the commission has not come to fruition, Bai Biao couldn't help but sigh with deep emotion. So difficult. Fang Fan is too smart. Wanting to take advantage of this guy's hands is as difficult as heaven. Bai Biao supported his forehead, thinking to himself, then curled his lips, it didn't feel like that anyway. Okay, let's not talk about this. Fang Fan boy, how do you know that the black and white student named Pan Ting can win this battle? What is the doorway here? I also looked carefully at the beginning. Pan Ting, a student of the Black and White Academy, has a low level of cultivation, and his family background is not high. After all, there is still a gap between the Black and White Academy and the old school. Now, how did it become like this? Do you know that Pan Ting, a student from the Black and White Academy, is going to perform that, what special taboo combat skill, Blood Demon Transformation? Bai Biao raised her eyebrows, and now she looked curious. Forward. Actually, it's not hard to see. When Pan Ting, a student from the Black and White Academy, first played, he looked like he wanted to die. And his blood is much more turbulent than ordinary people. Besides that, don't you see that the audience of the Black and White Academy are full of ambition? Some things just need to be observed carefully. It's actually not that difficult. Fang Fan groaned for a while, and then followed suit. Anyway, just pull it a little bit, and it will be fine. In fact, the real reason is that Fang Fan discovered that Pan Ting, a student of the Black and White Academy, exuded a breath of true God. Originally, Fang Fan wondered if this guy was going to use some kind of sacrifice technique to defeat his opponent, but he didn't expect to sacrifice such a taboo tactic as Blood Demon Transformation. Although he won, his own life would definitely die within 7 days. At this moment, on the high platform, Pan Ting, a student from the Black and White Academy, has already been carried down. His limbs are all crippled, most of his blood has been drained, and he has only a few days to live. As for the combat effectiveness, it is basically zero. Immediately, both the Black and White Academy and the Daybreak Academy naturally replaced with brand new contestants. Old dogs from the Black and White Academy. You are in vain. In order to win, at all costs, turn black and white. Shameless. Old dog Chen from the Black and White Academy. Do you have the guts to stand up now? A roar suddenly came from high in the sky. In the attic upstairs of the arena, it is naturally the site of those big shots. At this moment, Lu Kunlin, the dean of Lixiao Academy, couldn't help but scolded. The reason why Lu Kunlin, the dean of the Dan Academy, dared to openly attack him was because he had absolute confidence. There is so much confidence that no one else can match it. Unparalleled combat power. Crush all dissatisfaction. This posture is extremely strong. As for the others, there is no need to say more. Anyway, it is tough. It is invincible. Others can still say a hammer. Lu Kunlun, the dean of Daybreak Academy, is also a famous demigod powerhouse. In this era, true gods do not appear, and demigods are respected. Of course, it is true that the true god cannot descend here. The demigod is already the ceiling of combat power. The demigod's voice naturally shook the audience. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2999. And now, Lu Kunlun, the dean of the Daybreak Academy, said that he deserved to directly insult Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, as Chen Logu. It can only be said that the confidence of the demigod is different. At such a time, Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, would naturally not be timid. After all, it was a matter of morale. And if you can't be suppressed like this, you will feel extremely aggrieved in your heart, and if you don't do it well, you will be depressed directly. Anyway, in any case, this mentality must be stabilized. As for the rest of the matter, let's talk about it later. In short, it can be dealt with comprehensively. Snored. Dean Lu. Anyway, you are also a person with some dignity, and you are so rude when you speak. On the ring, the winner is the king and the loser is the bandit. Is this not clear? The students of your Dawn Academy are incompetent, who can be blamed? Trash snack. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, sneered and then sarcastically said, "Good guy, now this is no regard for face at all, you can abuse as much as you like. But this feels quite unusual. At least after feeling the position, I feel inexplicably comfortable physically and mentally. I really didn't expect that these high-ranking deans and elders didn't care about the dignity and face of the strong." Even the demigod stood up and scolded the street. Being teased by Chen Tianwei, the dean of Black and White College, how could Lu Kunlun, the demigod dean of Daybreak College, bear it? Get out. Old dog Chen. What kind of shit are you from Black and White Academy? Exercising a taboo secret technique such as blood demon transformation can be regarded as a skill. Waste. Don't engage in those insidious tricks if you have the ability, just fight with real swords and guns. Snored. If you have the ability, you old dog, come out and have a fight with the dean. Lu Kunlun, the demigod dean of the Dawn Academy, was so angry that he naturally needed to vent his anger at this moment. Otherwise, it will be too uncomfortable in my heart. The posture of gnashing teeth was revealed, and the fierce light in the eyes was revealed. Needless to say the rest, this feeling will be fully displayed invisibly. True and clear. He. The dean is not that rude. Dean Lu doesn't have to be so violent. If you don't want to be reconciled, let your students from the Dawn Academy perform forbidden techniques too. The dean didn't stop you, what's wrong? Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, shrugged, and then said indifferently. This sentence really choked up Lu Kunlun, the demigod dean of Daybreak Academy. They are indeed shameless, but they have the confidence to be shameless. Now that I've let go of it, you can use this taboo secret technique if you have the ability. As long as you have the guts to do it. The words have been said to this point, and the good and bad words are also finished. As long as the major academies don't spare the Tianjiao students they have worked so hard to train and let them practice the blood demon change, they can accomplish this fatal blow. Of course, this seems like a waste of students, and they are generally students with good talents. If all the major academies do this, they will be drinking poison to quench their thirst. However, this exchange event is about the division of divine land resources, so for the Black and White Academy, it is okay to pay some price. Shameless. Despicable. Asshole. How can this dean be as shameless as you? Take the lives of my own college students to satisfy my wolfish ambitions. Shameless. Lu Kunlun, the demigod dean of Daybreak Academy, roared angrily. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3000. It's really interesting to watch two respected deans abuse each other like this. At least it seems that there is no feeling. Even, they all feel quite excited and excited. At this moment, each of them stared wide-eyed, and the whole person became smug. Look at this, how interesting. Snored. See you in the arena. If you can't beat the Dawn Academy, just admit defeat. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, also seemed quite domineering, and even felt disapproving. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, this gesture followed, which inexplicably makes one's scalp tingle. Look at it, it's not a little bit of a show. But if you think about it carefully, there seems to be nothing wrong with what they said. What people say is actually quite true. Now that we've talked so much, can you still talk about a hammer? Can't you just smash your teeth and swallow it in your stomach? Isn't that what happened? The lips kept squirming, the body kept trembling, that's all. Old Dog Chen. How dare you bully me like this? Old Dog Chen. The dean will never let you go. Lu Kunlun, the demigod headmaster of Daybreak Academy, was directly enraged. Immediately there was a burst of strong coercion from the surrounding area. Even the houses on the second floor were shaking constantly. The students below couldn't sit still at the moment, and they began to feel hopeful one after another, with panic showing on their faces. Dean Lu. This is Yuanji Academy. Dean Lu. I also hope that you can give me 3 points of face. Dean Lu. There were 7 or 8 voices in succession, and those demigod bosses all spoke out, and immediately suppressed the aura of the demigod dean of the Daybreak Academy, Lu Kunlun. What else can I say after all this is said? Naturally, I can only shrink my neck, expressing a wave of unwillingness and helplessness in my heart. The matter has come to this point, it is useless to say more. It's all over. Snored. Today I give you this face. The relationship between my Dawn Academy and the Black and White Academy has been settled. Old Dog Chen. You wait for the dean. Sooner or later, the dean will find a chance to kill you. Lu Kunlun, the demigod dean of the Daybreak Academy, was obviously very angry. The gasping sound became more and more urgent at this moment, and it was obviously also a temper tantrum. After the two deans calm down the storm, the battle can continue. Brand new students from Dawn Academy and Black and White Academy have entered the stage. This time, the students sent by Daybreak Academy are 5-star early-level sanctuary students, and this is already the absolute elite of Daybreak Academy. As for the Black and White Academy, the one sent was a 4-star peak sanctuary realm existence, and his strength has also improved a lot. Judging from this scene, Lixiao Academy still has the absolute upper hand. But at this time, no one dares to assert that the Daybreak Academy will definitely be able to win. There are some things that need to be followed. If you are a little careless, you may be implicated in it. At that time, even if it is really finished. After all, although the strength of the students in this Black and White Academy is a bit weak, they are ruthless and ruthless. People don't feel pity for this so-called Tianjiao student at all, it's just an act. If you die, you will die, and no one will feel sad. Because of the previous changes, the battle between the Daybreak Academy and the Black and White Academy naturally attracted extra attention at this moment.